Hey, what's up, guys? This is MPFSU, and we're checking out Marvel Heroes. And I just wanted to bring out the characters that I have in the game. And this is Jean Grey. Pretty cool character, as you see. She has several different powers: telekinesis, telepathy, and then her Dark Phoenix power, which is something pretty cool. And then you'll see it a little bit later in the video. But the reason I really like this character is she is mostly range in the game, so you know you got to keep a fair distance. But I like the fact that her effects causes the enemies to pretty much pause in their place, and that's her telekinesis abilities, which is very similar to how she's portrayed in the Marvel universe, which is definitely fun. Makes her really fun to play. And you start off with this with a few of the powers early on, and then later on, as you'll see in the game, I have pretty much leveled her up pretty good, and she has some other interesting abilities that makes her really fun to play. And I think that's how it works with most of the Marvel characters. You start off with a um, sort of weaker abilities, and then once you level them up, you start to see it really open up, and you're like, oh man, she's pretty tight. So just adds to the game and the experience of leveling up these characters. Um, and as if you don't know who Jean Grey is, she's pretty much one of the X-Men. Don't really follow the comics too much. I do know there was a time period where she became pretty much a bad female, where she was became the Phoenix, and I guess was killing a few of the X-Men. It was pretty much the enemy of the X-Men. I mean, she kind of like disappeared for a long time. They came back as the Phoenix, so she's supposed to have died or something. But I mean, cool story with cute story arc with it. But I remember, the movies and the cartoons, so that's what I pretty much remember her from. So, X-Men, I'm really a fan of them since I was a kid. Watching the cartoon shows and as an adult, the movies. So, it kind of stuck with me, and I think they portray her pretty well in the game, as you see her ability to just stop dudes in their spot using telekinesis. And she also has like this ability that once she gets crowded, she can kind of send out this circle of some circle of force that will push enemies back, which a lot of Marvel characters have that, but the way it's portrayed by each individual one is very unique to that specific character, and hers is telekinesis. And another cool ability she has is this little aura right here gives her a sort of a shield, a buff to kind of protect her, because she's not a melee character, not really to be up close and personal with the enemies on the game. So it kind of has to keep her distance, but if she does get crowded, she has something to protect her, which is good. So it makes her definitely an interesting character to play. You can kind of master, as you see later on. I'll see how I go back and forth. Now right here is her Dark Phoenix ability. You see me here turn it on, and this is by far what makes her pretty deadly force, because once you change into this form, you can kind of just deal out a whole bunch of damage, as you see here. And it's like any enemies that get close to that fire and the flame, they just die. Simply put, they just die. And so it makes her a very powerful character in her own right, where you may think, well, maybe she's kind of weak, kind of soft, but no, when she turns into that Dark Phoenix, it's pretty tight. So now this is just a little bit more of me changing into her. As you see, I'm at it that this one ability where the fire just leaks from her body down to the ground, and it just soaks up damage. So any enemies that are caught in that little circle are just gonna take a lot of damage and die. And plus you're already attacking them with your fireball, so it's just a lot of damage you can deal out. So it makes her a pretty powerful character maybe one of the most powerful characters as far as dealing damage to a group of enemies. Uh, Thor is another one, but I have him a little bit later. So now you see me. This is me having used to her, playing with her. So I've have my own little combination of things that I like to do, and which makes her a pretty tough character to do, and definitely fun. Like I said, if you are interested in trying her out, I mean, you can either buy her from the marketplace or get her during one of the drops, which is probably more difficult. So if you don't have her within the premium pack or anything like that, you may want to try to purchase her because she's definitely fun to play, worth the value. And see that one ability that she starts off with, it just stops dudes in there and just stops dudes and that are trying to advance. As you see here, these dudes just stopping their path like they don't know what they're doing. Also, I unlocked the flying ability, which is pretty cool. Gets me out of some tough spots. And of course, the Phoenix, which is just deadly. I mean, just look at, those characters were chasing me away, but once I changed to the Phoenix, it was pretty much over for them. It's just tight, pretty tight. That makes the game very tight because you have all these different characters with these different abilities. And over the next few days, I'm gonna be showing you, at least the characters that I have, and their abilities and how I like to play with them, and what I like to use as far as their abilities. Here, just gaining experience there. I believe at this point she's a level 11, which is not pretty high. I mean, you can unlock a lot of powers pretty early for her, so makes her definitely easy to play with. It doesn't take a long time to grind and try to get a lot of her powers by going up levels. Now, I can't even imagine what her powers are going to be like once I reach level 30. I mean, I'm only halfway there with her right now. But I just want to show, pretty much the basics of what she can do. And I mean, just right off the jump, she's, pretty powerful right off the bat. And you see there, just a good combination. Once I get overwhelmed by enemies, I mean, it's just a good go-to form to go to, and I can go in and out of it. And the cool thing about it, I also unlock later on down the line another ability that when she goes into her Phoenix form, and I'm constantly being hit, that bar above my experience, which is the top bar, right between the health and the spirit, that bar, it'll stay full as long as enemies are attacking her, and that just allows me to stay in that dark Phoenix mode a lot longer. So if there's a huge amount of enemies that are attacking it, it's good idea to go ahead and switch to that because it's powerful, and then it could maintain the form for a lot longer the more enemies that she has to fight. I'm getting overwhelmed. There's Hulk. Look at that stuff right there, man. That dude is just nasty. Oh man, here comes Thor. And I have Thor unlocked, but I haven't, I've just leveled him up a little bit at this point. But you'll be seeing some of Thor as well in my videos. But yeah, Hulk came in and helped me out on that one because I was definitely getting overwhelmed. But here comes a whole bunch of dudes again. And see, there's her psychic abilities right there. See how she just got those dudes stuck in place? It's an amazing ability. Definitely good for crowd control. And works pretty different for bosses because that other power also weakens them. So when you make your attacks even more powerful, which is pretty awesome. So a lot of fun. If you haven't tried her, I definitely recommend it. And look, see, here comes some swarmer dudes right here. So you know what time it is. It's Phoenix time. Just look at, oh yeah, they're done. roasted.